Hey, thanks a lot for coming by. Um, this is a continuing saga with me trying to develop some software to communicate to some OBD2 devices. Um, and, it's like, wow, it's like a lot of stuff, right? And then you find out, like, what's involved, like, legitimately trying to sort of get some of this information. And it's rough, man. It gets it's like GM, for example, gets expensive. Some of you who've looked into this know, like, what is GM? What they want, like 50 grand or something a year, dude. Other companies maybe want a couple thousand. You know, and I'm not even sure which way you go. Maybe you buy on to IEEE or something. Or whatever, freaking organizations. Anyway, so I wanted to share with you just where I was at and what I've been working on. And what I got here is I have like this split screen deal. I got on the left, I got some code. I don't know, this might be kind of boring, man. I don't know. But this is sort of an update. It's like, if you're technical, you might find this intro. I don't know. Who knows what the hell? I don't know. Maybe if you're not, maybe if you're like ice cream, anyway. So what I got here is I got some video of like my fingers and my cell phone and some OBD2 stuff, whatever, hanging out, right? So what I realized, what became pretty apparent was that I really need to move some code over into the Android, the mobile world. I've gotten somewhat okay, pretty decently on the Windows apps. Something I've been doing professionally or whatever, so-called professionally, for a while now. I've never really worked with the Android, but I can see everybody's got one, or at least a cell phone, an iOS or an Android. And so I decided to work with what's called Xamarin, Xamarin. It's a Microsoft sort of framework that you can write code simultaneously, right, for Windows, Android, and iOS at the same time, right? So what I'm doing is I'm using that just to really do Android, right? My Windows app is over. If you've seen any of my videos, you've seen that I'm working on my Windows app. It's coming along. I still I haven't really. I have some work to do regarding writing data to the can. I'm not sure which way to go. Should I try to hack? Should I try to the OBD2? Should I try to figure out OBD2 PIDs? Try to because you can I mean, if you're not worried about blowing up your car, you could try some crazy stuff and maybe come across something. And you could do the same thing, or should I just communicate straight over the CAN network to devices, which is I'm kind of, my technical side is kind of saying, yeah, that's what you should do. Anyway, that's all just, I have to figure that out. I have to work that out. I have to demonstrate some capability, right? Some bidirectional capability. Without all the nonsense on these cheap. That'll be the golden day, right, when I can show some bidirectional capability on one of these cheapo guys. Anyway, so I'm in the middle of developing some Android stuff. So here's an Android app. Now this Broadlink, this is a plug socket you might be familiar with, but let's put that aside for a second. Right now I have the main issue that I need to plow right through and I need to get taken care of and squared away is communicating to these devices, right? That's the first thing when you do this software. Like, can I communicate to the Bluetooth device? What if I have a Wi-Fi device, right? So what I have here today is I'm just going to, I know you maybe really don't care that much, but I'm just videos just to show that, like, yeah, I finally got my Bluetooth and my Wi-Fi devices squared away, working on my Android, and I can go forward and start doing other cool stuff. By the way, I do have a really early version, 1.00. I have this early version that's available on the. Come on, don't you work? I can't see what I'm doing. What happened? All right. I have this really early version, 1.000, and it's available on the website. And it should work with either OBD2 or Wi-Fi, and you can plug it into your car. It should do two things. This is it. It will read your VIN, and it will read the status of your IM monitors. That's it. But it's pretty cool. You should do it very quickly. Bam. Like, there's no, like, sitting there waiting for things. So, what do I have? I have this set up on Wi-Fi. Let me just give you an example. These Wi-Fi adapters, I don't know if you didn't know. I didn't know this before I started messing with this. The Wi-Fi adapter itself, this OBD2, is a complete network in itself, right? It's not a device on a network like a smart plug. So you actually, when you're talking to an OBD2 network device, you actually have to come into the network and you have to find the OBD2 and select that and say, yeah, this is the network I want to connect to, right? And so as soon as you do that, then you can finally connect to, look how fast it connected. Internet may not be available through this device. Yeah, okay, I would think so. But thanks for telling me, Mr. Android. Anyway, so now what this will do, this will, right, the VIN is just sort of defaulted to 0, but it will first attempt to communicate to the device, then it will attempt to communicate the VIN, get the VIN from the car, and then we'll get the IM monitors. Now, one of the bugs is it should fail when it can't see the VIN, but it doesn't. It continues. So let's see what happens. So I'm holding this here so you can see the lights when I hit boom, right? So it's connecting, it's talking, it's like, what is this thing I found out here? Oh, it's that. I found this ELM, whatever. Give me the VIN from the car you're connected to. Oh, no VIN, no car. It should stop there and say, well, there's no data. It's still looking for, right, so it failed. So it went for two things. One was the VIN, the other one was the IM monitor status, neither of which worked. And, you know, you could do this till time immemorial. You could just keep retrying this. If this was hooked up to a car, it would already be done. It should be like in a quick flash, like boom, boom. Maybe I can get some video of that. I'm not sure. It depends how the day goes. But this app is available on my website. It's an APK file, and you're going to have to like grab the file, and your Android should know how. You should be able to just say, what do I do? And the Android say install, and say yeah. And I don't know. I guess you're going to have to believe. I'm just not nefarious. I'm just not interested in blowing up your life with a hacked up OBD2 application. I mean, I understand if you don't trust it, and that's fine. You know, you just watch the video. It's cool. But, you know, definitely I'm not interested in hurting anybody in terms of downloading some weird software. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to go back on to my normal network, right, because I'm about to shut this network down. Where is this network, right? Let me just pull this off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug, remember this thing? This is just a power plug. This is not hooked up to a car. This just provides power so that I can communicate, right? So I just powered this bad boy up. Right, so whoops, so let me go back to my app. There's my app icon, by the way. That would show up on your oops, I keep hitting things. That would show up on your device once you install the APK file. So let me run that. Oh, okay, it opens up because this is a different version of what's on the website. You wouldn't see anything about that broad link on the website. So now this is a network, but if you go into hard settings, what you got over here on the left is my code. I don't know how much I'm going to talk about that, but I'm on a breakpoint, right? It's stopping on the IP port where it's reading it from the settings. So we're just going to let this go. I don't think, all right, go ahead, go baby. Okay, so here's the settings page, and I'm going to now change my default to Bluetooth. And I'm going to select the Bluetooth, which is the OBD2, right, that I have, which was, connect to that. And I'll go back to my main page. See, now this is a bug. This is not in the original version on the website, but this thing should not still be, that man, I'm so angry. It should not be sitting there saying network. All right, let's see, that's very wrong. Very wrong, man. All right. So what I did there is I cheated and I restarted my app. You know, the old developer thing. Restart your thing. The one on the website will just change. All right, now it's got me wondering, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. Anyway, and if it's not, then you know what you're dealing with, man. You're dealing with me and my freaking experiments. But hey, thanks. I appreciate it. All right, so I come in here and I open device. Oh, geez, did I close it too? I can't see what I'm doing, right? Yeah, I did. I opened and closed it. So open it, right? And then same deal, right? So it's gonna get the data. It's gonna be like, who's out there? It's like, now this is Bluetooth now, right? It's like, that's the ELM. That's this thing here. And then it's like, oh, no VIN, no VIN. Oh, sorry. And then it's going to continue, and then it's going to say, oh, I can't get the IM monitors either. Error, right? But that's what would happen if it was just powered on. Now, you are never going to get this thing powered on unless you plug it into your car, unless you're a weirdo like me and you have some weird power without having. Very rare to have one of these OBD things powered up without being connected to a car. But see, this is like if you're a developer, I don't even know. I get into arguments with developers of style all the time, but my style of developing software, or really almost in a lot of things, well, not everything. It's not a good thing to do in relationships. Is you start with all the errors, right? Like when I start programming this, what I'll do is I'll disconnect everything, right? I'll say, what would happen if I tried to open that device and it just wasn't there? What would happen? You know, would the application freeze and die? So there's a lot of things in the background to do. Here's another one. What if I came into my Bluetooth settings and set like my Bose radio, right? What if I set that as the OBD2? Because I can. It's an OBD2 device, and say open, right? What's going to happen? Well, it's going to be able to tell that that is not the serial device that I was expecting to see. And then, of course, so you go back and forth, and like what you saw before, where it wasn't. Whoops. I meant to. It's hard to see. I'm sorry. It's hard to see. So I'm going back to like the legitimate setting now, which is just remembered now because that thing's not powered up. This Bluetooth device, it's upside down, but this Bluetooth is not powered up. So if I open now this is like how I do right when I'm developing. Maybe I connected it once just to see if I could work at all. But then what I do is I put it to the side and I go through all these different scenarios. And then the very, very, very last thing, right? The very last thing is I connect the device and get everything where there shouldn't be any errors, right? And now the errors are they're not sort of organic problems where the device isn't there or something. Now the errors are like, hey, there's no car there, so it's got control of them, right? So one of the things you're doing when you're developing is you're just trying to get control of things when things are wrong, right? I mean, a lot of developers don't do this. It's amazing how many developers will just write code for the best scenario, and then as soon as something goes wrong, and even if you take the tack that I did where I'm trying to be careful, you still run into problems. I mean, anybody with any kind of wisdom knows this, right? You don't have to be a developer to know this. This is called being careful. And look how easy it is to fix things in here, right? It's just so... building you have to tear apart. This is what cracks me up about software architects or guys. People like to call themselves software architects. You're not an architect, dude. You don't study, and then finally say, go ahead and build it. And then that's it. There's no Control Z on a freaking building. There's no installation for a update package on a build. Yeah, you could do some things for very expensive. You can retrofit some things. But some buildings are just what they are, man. And it's based on the architect. So you can't compare, to me, in my mind, you can't compare a person who lays out a plan that supposedly should never ever change, ad infinitum, should never change. As opposed to software guy who's like, you talk to software so-called architects, and they'll talk about how, yeah, it's okay because you just write and update it. You're supposed to mess up. All these kind of stupid things you would never hear somebody, like if you designed a car and you had a design flaw in the car, man, you know how much money it costs to fix any physical design flaw in a physically produced item, whether it's a building or, oh my God. And software developers like to walk around, hi, I am a software architect. You might be smart and you might be good at what you do, but architect, let's reserve some words. You've killed the honor of the word architect by calling yourself an architect. That's what I'm saying. All right. So, and there's no certifications to be a software. And just like, here, check it out. There's no certification to be a news reporter, and there's no certification to be a software developer. You're just what you are, and you claim all kinds of crap. All right, I just wanted to throw that out there on top. I happen to have 2 bachelor's degrees. One is a WET, the other one is in journalism. I can't explain it, but I've always since then had an attitude about journalism. But it is true. There is no certificate to be a journalist. I'm a journalist. What do you mean you're a journalist? Well, how to prove it? Well, I just am. Oh, okay. You're a software developer? Yeah, prove it. Well, I just am. Same thing. I passed the test. Get out of here. All right, enough said. Hey, thanks a lot for coming. I'm working on my stuff. I have, like, there's a little funny thing going on with the meter in my PC app for the RPM. I need to smooth some things out over there, and then I need to proceed on some. I need to hit the beachhead on some of this bidirectional stuff. Anyway, I really appreciate anybody who's subscribed or whatever. I don't know where we're going, what's going on, what we're doing, but it's cool, right? All right. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.